Hello everyone. So far we have done with, I guess we have done with the UI design and as well as we have done with the questions and changing of the questions dynamically. So now let's just talk about classes and objects in Flutter today because we had to implement this in the next class. So let's get started with this. So today we are going to talk about, let me just remove this. Today we'll be talking about first classes, second one objects. Okay, so let's get started. What are classes? So classes are simply called the blueprint of objects. So classes is equal to blueprint of objects. And what are objects? Objects are something which holds some value and characteristics. Okay, so now let me give a real life example. Suppose you are having an apple. So apple has some characteristics, which is it has sweet taste or sometimes it can be sour, so it depends. So it has sweet taste and it has a value that it has red color, right? So similarly objects, even we even we humans are objects. We have some value that is or characteristics, that is we have two legs, two arms, and we have some behavior that we can walk, we can talk, we can listen, we can do this, we can make programs in Flutter and so. So now, first thing, how to declare a class. So it's very easy. It's just you have to use class keyword and then your class name. So I will just try to keep it simple, class animal, and then followed by curly braces. Now over here, we can define the properties or the values of that class. So suppose I want to define the number of legs of animal. So it will be int legs is equal to 4. Okay, now another thing that which I want to define is maybe int eyes, which is obviously 2. If you have more than that, that's good enough. And then maybe string type of animal. So over here I will put mammal. Okay, so now we have created an class animal inside which these properties are seen. Okay, so I have this till here, it's clear. Now we will make our main function execution point, and over here we'll create the object of animal class. So now we have the mold of the whatever thing which we want to create ready. Now we have to actually put in the material in that and create the object that we want. So over here we will just put our variable animal object is equal to animal. Okay, so in Flutter this notation is avoided because it is of Java. Okay, so it is of not Java, it's of Python. The value of local variable animal object isn't used. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll print the values inside the animal object. So the first one will be animal dot legs. Cool. So the name of our object is animal object. Okay, good enough. Then print animal dot animal object dot eyes. Cool. And the final one is print animal object dot type of animal. Cool enough. Now what we'll do is we'll run this program and see what output we get. Cool. So we have got the output which you wanted, 4, 2, and mammal. Okay. So now we have defined what all the animal has, what all are his features. Now we'll define his behavior. So maybe first we'll start by defining a method inside this. So void action. Okay, so what in here will print the animal can walk. Wow, that's great, he can walk. Now what we will do is, if we want to call that method, we want to check its behavior, then we will again use the animal object and call it over here, animal object dot action, and then we will put a semicolon, and now we'll run the program. And you can see over here we have got another thing, which is the animal can walk. That's a really great thing, he can walk. Now I want to specify on how many legs does the animal walk. If you're talking about a human, it walks on 2 legs. If you're talking about a dog, it walks on 4 legs, right? So here we can add another property, which is int legs. So the best way to do this will be, instead of calling this, instead of using parameter, we can directly use walk on and then string in the interpolation legs, right? Won't this be much easier? We'll just hit run, and now you can see over here that the animal can walk on 4 legs. But for you to make understand how does it work, I will just use another parameter over here. Instead of using this legs walk on, okay, we'll keep that legs as it is, and we'll just turn it to capital L in order to avoid conflicts with this legs, and we'll initialize legs over here. Now you can see that we have used int legs over here. So now what we have to do, we have to specify the value of legs over here. So we'll just put 4 over here, and then we will hit Control S. No need to do Control S in Dartpad, you can directly run it. You can see over here that the animal can walk on 4 legs, right? Now what you want to do is, you want to just specify few of the things of the animal which all the animals do, and rest you had to take it from the users. So what you can do is, you can just erase all of this, okay, and just specify that string, no need of string, we'll just make one method, void normal actions, and it will be again a void method, so it will just print the animal can breathe. Okay, so by doing this, what we are saying is that our animal can breathe, and it's an abstract property, right? Each and every animal can breathe. Now according to that, we have to now take the input from the user, so that we can make our animal class much more of the user friendly one. Okay, so now instead of taking this class animal, now I have to take the number of legs from the user himself, right? So what I will do is, I will make a property over here, int number of legs, right? And one more property, int number of, okay, like what we can tell is int number of eyes, just for us convenience. So over here what we'll do is, we'll create an constructor. So what a constructor is, it normally takes the values. Okay, so what constructor does is, it normally takes the characteristics values of, where it's going wrong, just let me check out why it's showing this thing. We'll just control axis, and we'll just use this over here. Okay, so we have created a constructor, and now we can, what the constructor does is, it takes these values, number of eyes and number of legs, from the user when the object is created. So I hope that this is you're familiar with any other programming language. That way it will be much easier for you to understand the concept. Okay, now here I will create another method, void walk property, and in here what we will put is print the animal can walk on string interpolation, and number of legs may be 4. A number of legs may be number of legs. Okay, this is clear, number of legs, and then we will just put a semicolon. And similarly we can create another property, void eyes property. I don't know an animal who has more than 2 eyes. Maybe you might know, just in case. Print the animal has string interpolation. We will use number of eyes and then semicolon. Okay, so now this far it has been clear. So now it's showing an error because we have to provide the arguments. So maybe we want to view our animal just has 2 legs and 3 eyes. I really don't know if there exists any such animal. So now if we just try to animal object is equal to animal object dot walk properly property, and animal object dot eyes property. So what's the error here? No error is there. And then we can hit the semicolon. Now I have created one animal object which has 2 legs and 3 eyes. I can create another same object variable, animal object 1 is equal to animal which has maybe 5 legs and 7 eyes. Again, I don't know any such animal, whether they even exist or not, but just in case. Yeah, just in case. Now I'll copy this and I will paste it again. Just I will change the name of the variable, when and when. Good enough. And now we will save this thing. Here we go. Oh, great. The animal can walk on 3 and the animal has 2. The animal can walk on 7 and the animal has 5. So just to be grammatically correct, we'll just put over here legs and has eyes. Okay, done. Now instead, sometimes you may be confused that what should come first and what should come second. So you might just get confused with 2 maybe the number of legs or 2 maybe the number of eyes. So you might get confused between these parameters. So there is another technique over here. If you want the parameters to be named, you can just do it by putting this in curly braces, and now you can see the difference that over here you can type the parameter which you want to pass, which in our case is number of legs is equal to 2 and number of eyes is equal to 3. So instead of 3 I have to use the colon symbol. Okay, so I don't think this should show any issue now. Okay, it's not showing any issue. So this way you can make the code more clearer for your future self so that you won't have any problem. So now you can name the property. So now you won't put number of legs instead of number of eyes. So you have the name of the property, you can use the name of the property to assign the value. So what we did was only just one simple change. We put this thing in curly braces. Okay. So now you have got this thing, what are classes and objects. So similarly, you can make n number of objects as such that will hold a particular value. So now I will make make this object 2, and again object 2, and now we'll try to make this human. Okay. So control S, and you'll find over here run. The animal can walk on 2 legs. The animal has 3 eyes. The animal can walk on 2 legs. Animal has 3 eyes. The animal can walk on 2 legs, and the animal has 2 eyes. So now we have created 3 objects, and these 3 objects have some value associated with it. So that's all for today, and we are going to implement this in our next session. So I hope that you practice, keep on practicing, because without practicing, you can't learn Flutter, because Flutter is relatively very easy, but you need practice. So hope that you enjoyed this and keep learning. We'll meet you on the next time. Thank you. So just try to practice this. I'm just keep on repeating this practice and you'll find it easy. Thank you.